Hey guys, what's happening and welcome back to the channel where we take awesome out of the box. My name is Jamie and this is another video about the Realme 3 Pro that was just launched in the Philippines. The folks over at Realme used the hashtag RealGamingPro to promote the newest phone to arrive in the country, so it's only right that we take it through its paces to really see what it's capable of. In our gaming reviews, we usually test out 4 games, but we really wanted to stretch out the legs of this phone, so we tested out a whole bunch of titles, so hopefully we cover some of the games you play or at least a game that's similar to something you're playing. Now, as usual, we used an app called GameBench to measure all the metrics that you'll be seeing in this video, but before we get to the games, let's give you guys a quick recap of the key hardware that the Realme 3 Pro is rocking. Let's start off with the display. The phone has a 6.4-inch Full HD Plus IPS LCD display that gives the device a good amount of pixel density. There is a tiny water drop notch on this phone, and sadly, it does get in the way of the UI in some games, so make sure you adjust your controls so everything is within reach. For its processing package, the Realme 3 Pro is rocking a Qualcomm Snapdragon 710 with up to 6GB of RAM and up to 128GB of expandable storage. Our review unit is the top spec one, so keep that in mind, but we're pretty sure that any difference in the results you'll be seeing is somewhat negligible. You also have a 4045 mAh battery to keep the lights on, and it lasted almost 2 full days on a single charge, plus it clocked in at a respectable time in our battery benchmarks at 11 hours and 53 minutes. The phone also supports VOOC Charge 3.0 that will have you tethered less to a wall socket, as getting it from 0 to 100% took a little more than an hour. Alright, with the recap out of the way, let's get to the games, and we're starting off with something very easy, a staple for all our gaming reviews, Asphalt 9. At the highest settings, the Realme 3 Pro managed an average of 29 frames per second at 94% stability. Now, most of the frame rate drops were actually from the loading screen, but actual gameplay was really smooth and the phone handled this racing game like a charm. This title is pretty much child's play for most mid-range devices out in the market, so let's move on to something new and a game that was requested by some of you guys, Lineage 2 Revolution. Alright, so I pretty much just started this game, so I'm not sure how it's gonna do when you hit higher levels, but the results were quite impressive since there seems to be a lot of things going on screen. We got an average of 53 frames per second at 89% stability, which I think is pretty darn good given we had all the settings at best. Seriously though, I think I might need to learn this game a little more if you guys want to see more of it in our gaming reviews, so sound off in the comment section if you want to see more Lineage 2 Revolution. Next up is another new title to our gaming reviews, Life After. I'm pretty new to this game, but the numbers look pretty good. We got an average of 59 frames per second in this zombie survival game, with really stable frame rates at 96% as well. We're just a little past the starting area, so we might get lower averages later on in the game, but so far, so good. Now let's move on to the next titles, which are a bunch of MOBAs. Let's start off with the crowd favorite, Mobile Legends. Now, there was an issue with the Snapdragon 710 that wouldn't allow this game to be played at higher frame rates, but that issue has finally been resolved. We got an average of 58 frames per second on this popular MOBA at 100% stability. It was really steady in team clashes, so it definitely gets a thumbs up from us. On to the next MOBA, Arena of Valor. Now, if this game is more of your jam, then you won't be disappointed either. We got an average of 59 frames per second on AOV with the same stability at 100%. You're getting really smooth gameplay on this MOBA, so the Realme 3 Pro gets 2 thumbs up. Last in this genre, Vainglory. Now, no surprises here, Vainglory also ran really well on the Realme 3 Pro with a slight dip in stability. We got an average of 58 frames per second at 98% stability, and if there are any dips in team fights, then we hardly notice them. I'm out of thumbs to give, but it's definitely a favorable result for the Realme 3 Pro if you love playing MOBAs on your smartphone. Let's move on to sports with NBA 2K19. We really wanted to push the limits of this phone, so with everything running at the highest settings with cloth simulation on very high as well, we got pretty decent numbers on this phone. It managed an average of 39 frames per second at 91% stability. Now, we recommend dialing down the cloth simulation or turning it off altogether to squeeze out more frame rates from this game, but it was still playable with everything maxed out. Alright, let's get to the Battle Royales, starting off of course with PUBG Mobile. With everything set to the highest we could, we got really decent numbers on this game. We got an average of 30 frames per second at 99% stability, which means you don't have to worry about lagging out in a firefight. There will be the occasional dip when things start to pop in, so please be wary of going Rambo or just driving through areas where you know you're gonna get into trouble. Okay, the very last game on this gaming review is Fortnite. Now, sadly, we couldn't run GameBench on this title for some reason, so we're just going to have to share our experience with you guys. Fortnite defaulted to medium settings and had us capped at 30 frames per second. Now, I'm really bad at this game, but it was pretty smooth when I was able to run around and gather materials, plus it didn't seem to lag very much when I was on the losing end of a firefight. It was an okay experience on this Battle Royale, but I'm going to have to get good if you want to see more of it on our channel. Now there you have it guys, a ton of games for our gaming review for the Realme 3 Pro, and I think it handled all the games that we tried out like a charm. It hovered around the maximum frame rates as its average, plus it had excellent stability as well. Now we did notice, however, that it did warm up a little bit. I think that's normal given how many games we tested out in this video. But if you are the type to game for hours on end, maybe that's a little reminder to take a little break. So it's worth noting, it's not a big deal. But yeah, keep that in mind. So that's pretty much it. If you'd like to see more content on the Realme 3 Pro, then click on the eye on the corner of the screen. That will take you to the pros and cons video that's already up on the channel. Now, if you want a more in-depth look on this phone, then I'll leave a link in the description down below that will take you to the full review that's up on the website. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the next ones. If you have any questions, leave them down below and I'll try to get to them as soon as I can. For all the latest tech news and gadget reviews, head to unbox.ph, plus follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. My name is Jamie, peace, God bless, and I'll see you guys in the next video.